Welcome to the tavern. Let's make a drink. Today we're making one with a bit of a dubious name, a little bit of a dubious origin. It's called a Rattle Skull. Now you may think that it's called that because if you drink too many of them, your skull's going to be rattling around. And while that will happen, because it is another one of those strong 18th century drinks, it's actually called a Rattle Skull because it was supposed to be a slang term for someone who talked a lot. So the thought is if you drink too many of these, you're actually going to start turning into a little bit of chatty Cathy. Now, like the stone fence, this is one that we don't really completely know where it comes from, but it's one that's been handed down. And there are a couple variations on the recipe, but there's a few things that are always common. You have sugar, you have some sort of alcohol, usually it's either rum or it's brandy. You have a dark beer, today we're using a porter, and then you have lime juice, and it's usually garnished with nutmeg. So it's pretty simple, let's get it started. So the first thing you're going to start with is 1.5 ounces of your hard liquor. Like I said, some recipes call for rum, some call for nutmeg. We're going to split the difference. We'll just do 3/4 of each, so that way we get 1.5 ounces total. 3/4 of rum, 3/4 of brandy or cognac. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to use 1/2 ounce of sugar. Now, if you're not using simple syrup like I am, it's just a plain 1-to-1 ratio simple syrup, you can put actual sugar in here with just a little bit of water to make it liquid. I am using simple syrup though. It's a nice turbinado simple syrup. I'm using 1/2 ounce of it. It's just a little bit easier. The next thing you're going to use is a lime. You're going to need 3/4 ounce of lime juice. Lime really annoys me when people get these mixers and everything like that. They're getting fresh produce, they juice it, but then they're not actually measuring it, and then they're throwing everything off. Oh, why doesn't my drink taste right? Probably because you didn't measure it. Alright, these limes are a little bit small, so there is 3/4 ounce of lime juice. And the last thing you're going to put in here is 12 ounces of a dark beer. I'm using Yard's George Washington Porter. I like Yard's stuff. They use historic recipes. Also, I think this was appropriate for the Rattle Skull. And of course, as always, your best bottle opener is your bag. 12 ounces of beer in the drink. Alright, so I got my rum. I've got my cognac, I've got my simple syrup, I've got my porter, I've got my lime juice, I've got it all in there. And, you know, it wouldn't be an 18th century drink without a little bit of garnish and nutmeg just to make it nice and tasty. Put that on top. And we're done. It's a Rattle Skull. Pretty good. Bit interesting. You get the maltiness of the porter in there with a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tangy. I could definitely see you becoming more chatty if you drink one of these. So anyway, try it at home. Let me know what you think. Cheers.